Begin with this. 3 men facing federal charges for making and trafficking guns, one of them a former Altoona police detective.
Those federal charges were just filed this past Wednesday, and according to court documents, 3 Blair County men are accused of manufacturing and selling ghost guns. Now, I want to tell you about those charges. Facing them are Harry Miller, who is a convicted felon, and Craig Zaradnik, a former Altoona detective. A third person, Wayne Faribaugh, is currently not in custody at the moment, but he does have a summons.
I have no issue whatsoever with people making firearms for their own use. But when you do stuff like this, it hurts the gun community. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, ARS certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like channel, like content, and what I do here, you can support me. The link, everything is appreciated. Connecticut residents, a PSA. If you plan on getting your Connecticut pistol permit, please get the training done before July 2024. After that, it becomes longer, harder, more expensive. Disincentivize you from going out and getting your permit to purchase a firearm. That's what it's all about. If you have your permit, watch the expiration date. Don't let it expire. If it expires after July, you're going to have to do the new training. Mark it in the calendar. Please pay attention to that. Also, there is a link in the description box to the online renewal for pistol permits for the state. But let's talk about this now. This is going to cause a lot of controversy because I'm sure that people are going to jump into the feed saying, well, it's not illegal to do that, and that's fine. As I said, I have no issue with people building firearms for their own use. I have no issue whatsoever. You're a law-abiding individual and you just want to build something custom, do you. But when you do something like the story I'm about to get into, you are hurting the gun community with these things, because this is the kind of story that the anti-gun community grips onto to demand gun control against people who don't do any kind of harm. This is coming out of Pennsylvania. There's 3 gentlemen there who have been charged, indicted, and one of them at least has pled guilty for possession, manufacturing, and trafficking of what they advertise these things as hit kits. And basically what it is a firearm with a silencer and latex gloves. I want to come into here. I believe this is coming once again, and thank you to Ammo Land for being on these kind of stories. But defendant pleads guilty of unlawful possession, manufacturing, and trafficking of hit kits. Okay, Johnstown, Pennsylvania, a resident of New Paris, pled guilty in federal court to 1-count information charging conspiracy to deal and manufacture firearms without a license. U.S. Attorney Eric G. Olshan announced today. Now, it's not the manufacturing part that they're going after him for, it's what they were doing with these items as they were making them, and that's going to come out further into the story. His plea follows earlier guilty pleas from his 2 co-defendants in the case to charges of possession, manufacturing, and trafficking of firearms, among other offenses. Wayne Faribaugh, 55, pled guilty before U.S. District Court Stephanie L. Haynes in December and October of 2023, respectively. Co-defendants Craig Zaradnik, 52, of Altoona, and Harry Miller, 47, of Martinsburg, each pled guilty to 7 counts before Judge Haynes. Zaradnik's sentencing scheduled for April 10th and Miller's for March 11th. In connection with their guilty pleas, Faribaugh, Zaradnik, and Miller admitted that between May 2022 and April 2023, they were part of a conspiracy to engage in the business of manufacturing and dealing in firearms without a license. Specifically, Miller and Zaradnik were partners in an illicit business operation engaged in the manufacturing and trafficking of privately made firearms, so-called ghost guns, with Miller purchasing the components and maintaining many of the weapons at a storage unit that Zaradnik, a retired police detective, controlled. Beginning in July 2022, Zaradnik provided $5,000 payments to Miller that Miller then deposited into his bank account, totaling $30,000. Miller used these funds to purchase the firearm components from outside Pennsylvania and repay Zaradnik with the proceeds from the gun sales, and that's a problem, including from the sale of what Miller marketed as hit kits, consisting of a 9mm polymer 80 handgun with no serial number, a threaded barrel with an attached silencer, subsonic ammunition, and latex gloves. Firebaugh admitted that he assisted Miller and permitted him to use machinery at Firebaugh's place of employment to drill the components for ghost guns. Miller also used this equipment to manufacture untraceable weapons and weapon components that were required to be registered with the government under the National Firearms Act, including silencers, machine guns, and short-barrel rifles. Zaradnik transported the hit kits and other firearms to and from Miller for scheduled buys. On other occasions, Miller and Zaradnik transported firearms together. Zaradnik further admitted that in March 2023, he transferred a firearm and ammunition to Miller, knowing that Miller intended to sell, dispose of, or transfer the firearm and ammunition in furtherance of a felony and unlawfully transfer firearms that were not registered to him. As part of their guilty pleas, Zaradnik and Firebaugh both admitted that they knew Miller was a convicted felon and was therefore prohibited from possessing firearms. Now, that's a sticky situation because I always get in the back and forth when we talk about felons and firearms. Let me be clear on my position one more time. If you did something that caused you to have a felony and you have done nothing else since, I don't think that should ever stop you from getting a firearm. If you are an habitual offender, yes, in my opinion, that should deny you the right to a firearm. You don't let a pedophile babysit children. Why not? It's a simple answer. If the person's an habitual violent offender, you don't give them a gun. I don't know in this case what the felony is, but that's just my opinion on that issue. But during the plea hearings, Zaradnik and Miller further pled guilty to unlawful possession of a machine gun, illegal trafficking in firearms, and unlawfully engaging in the business of manufacturing and dealing in firearms. And this is why I have a problem with it, because now you're about to get the spin that they're going to put on this. This is coming from the U.S. Attorney. Quote, "This case illustrates the extraordinary danger associated with the unlawful manufacturing and trafficking of ghost guns." U.S. Attorney O'Shan said, "These defendants admitted selling so-called hit kits to anyone looking for an untraceable firearm packaged together with a silencer and even latex gloves. The potential for lethal consequences is staggering. As always, we will continue to work side by side with our partners in federal, state, and local law enforcement to ensure that those who put profit over public safety are held accountable." Further quote, "The unlawful sale of firearms is a primary focus of ATF," said Eric Degree, special agent in charge of ATF's Philadelphia Field Division. "In this case, self-styled hit kits pose a critical threat to the safety of our citizens. The result of this investigation is a testament to the long-standing collaboration with our local, state, and federal partners, including the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, the Pennsylvania State Police, the Pennsylvania Attorney General's Office, the Altoona Police Department, blah, 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 blah." But I'm going to come down to, I don't need to get into all that here. "This case is part of a Project Safe Neighborhoods, a program bringing together all levels of law enforcement and the communities they serve to reduce violent crime and gun violence and to make our neighborhoods safer for everyone. On May 26, 2021, the Department of Justice launched a violent crime reduction strategy strengthening P.A.N. based on those core principles. Fostering trust and legitimacy in our communities, supporting community-based organizations that help prevent violence from occurring in the first place, setting focused and strategic enforcement priorities, and measuring the results." Now, I'll come out of that. Now, that statement there is basically, this allows us to make gun control laws against people who have done nothing. That's why I have a problem with people like this who do things like this, because it gives the anti-gun community the wherewithal to be sitting there going, see, we need more gun control because this is, we got to stop this from happening. These three people are freaking idiots for doing what they were doing. Now, if they were making guns and for their own use, I'm saying that the government's full of crap and they had no right to say anything to them, but they were making these guns and selling them for a profit. That is a problem. And they were selling them to anyone who wanted them. That is a problem. And why is it a problem? Because that is what is used to pass gun control. They grab these situations, prop them up at the top, saying, look at this, we need gun control. Your communities aren't safe because of this incident, so everybody in the community is going to have to suffer for the stupidity of these people here. That's why I have a problem with it. And I have to reiterate, I know somebody's going to jump in and say, well, manufacturing your own firearms is not illegal. I agree with you. It is not illegal. If you're building a gun for yourself to use, I have no issue with you. Let me make that clear, because there's always going to be somebody who's going to jump in and gaslight with that. But I have a problem when you're making weapons and just giving them to whomever. That is an issue, because that situation is then used as fodder for gun control that we all know will never solve violent crime. But then again, gun control was never designed to do that. But I saw this story, and well, there are going to be arguments. There are going to be people jumping in and saying, you know, I can see it coming already. But you got to realize who you are dealing with. You're giving ammunition to the anti-gun community, and they take that information and apply it to people who are ignorant on firearms to get laws that basically hamper your Second Amendment rights. That's why I have such a huge problem when people do things like this. But here it comes. Let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.